Welcome into Clippers Countdown as your 2-1 LA Clippers are up north and taking on a pack-div rival in the Golden State Warriors, who they've won 7 straight against, including last year's Game 82's playoff game to stay out of the play-in, basically, which was a classic against these now 3-1 Golden State Warriors to start off this season after a training camp with Jimmy Butler, a contract extension and buy-in with Jonathan Kuminga, and the addition of an older vet with a Nico Batum-like net positive in Al Horford. Plus, they still have Steph and Draymond and that residual championship culture, which is almost like having that sixth man out there on the court with them at all times. But they got to deal with the Clippers' big three that played to the name in Game 3 of the season Sunday night against the Portland Trail Blazers.
Straight away three. Street music. Kawhi with 9 early. Fresh 14 for the Clips. Leonard pirouettes, muscling in the paint. Pump fakes, finds Zoo, and lays it up on the right block. Harden, one-on-one with Avia. Crosses to the right hand, steps back for 3, got fouled, puts it in. The Beard with a chance for a 4-point play. Left wing extended Harden. Gets around the screen from Zubac. Behind the back to Zubac. Hammers it with the left hand. Counted and a foul. Ivica Zubac puts Klingit on his wall. That's a poster. 28 for Kawhi. He has led them the entire way. Can he lead the troops to a win? Leonard pulls up, floater, finish! 30 ball for Leonard.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard with 30 points and 10 boards, plus you got 20 and 13 assists from James Harden, 21 from Big Zoo and 8 rebounds, as the Clippers turned around a 5-point deficit at the half to win against a scrappy Blazers team that just took down the Lakers, 114-107 on Sunday at Intuit Dome, and the Clippers are now 54 and 13 whenever Kawhi goes for 30 or more. Here he was post-game with Justin Rousseau.
Kind of how important is it for your guys, for your team, when you get going early on in the game?
It's great for any of us to get going early. You know what I mean? If any of us sees me, Zoo, James, Bill, Bogey get going, it excites everybody. I mean, make shots, our defensive plays always gets the team motivated. I thank them for putting me in those positions to try to do something for the team, and just got to keep getting better.
The Clippers can now show greater growth and improvement tonight if they can get their first road win of the season while sending the Golden State Warriors to their first home loss. Tip-off from Chase Center between your Los Angeles Clippers and the Golden State Warriors is just about 58 minutes away. Coming up here in the pregame show, La Murray of The Athletic will join me. Plus, we'll go back in time and Clippers Rewind to one of my favorites. But up next, it's your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Golden State Warriors from San Francisco at the Chase Center, and tip-off is just about 55 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Still to come, you're going to hear from the head coach in Tyronn Lue, but first, we get out to Chase Center and get to your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, what's up, my friend?
Adam, what is good? Good to hear your beautiful voice here on this beautiful Tuesday in the Bay. So glad to be back. Feels like we were just here a week ago, because we were. And now the Clippers an opportunity to get a franchise best, Adam, 8th straight win over the Golden State Warriors. That would be something.
Before we get to that, let's talk about what happened on Sunday night. Clippers winning 114-107 over the Blazers at Intuit Dome, where the Clippers are 2-0, and Kawhi Leonard led them early, often and late with 30 points, including a couple of key buckets and a defensive stop at the end of that ball game. You can just see it. This is a guy who got to train the way he wanted to for the first time in 5 years. We've talked about it a lot, but you can see it out there on the court. It's manifesting right now.
It is. And him getting 10 rebounds is a huge part of that as well. Just being able to attack the glass and help the Clippers be one of the best defensive rebounding teams like they were a season ago. I also think, Adam, it just speaks to his comfort in the offense. I mean, back-to-back games at home in which he shoots the most shots at 21 shots. It felt a little awkward when Kawhi was assimilating to the team last season just because he hadn't been getting every shot. The Clippers now have to adjust to having somebody like Kawhi Leonard on the floor. He's clearly comfortable with his team and comfortable taking those shots and did a great job of knocking them down at an efficient rate. The biggest thing there, Adam, was Kawhi being able to, you mentioned at the end, push his body 35 minutes. Kawhi didn't play 35 minutes till late in February last season. Now he's getting an opportunity to do it on the third game of the regular season.
Let's talk about the other guy who came through with some clutch buckets. John Collins had 8 points in the fourth quarter, hit a three-pointer, had a putback, I believe, and then a nice and one off a nice feed from Ivica Zubac. John Collins closed out the ball game while not starting. He sure finished that one off the right way.
He did. I mean, 7 for 8 to come away with all those points. Great cuts. I thought it was really interesting to hear from James Harden and Kawhi Leonard individually pointing out they felt like John plays smart basketball. Harden said he's somebody who doesn't need the ball to make an effect on the game. The way he cuts, the way he finds big men underneath. He was very proud of his baseline cut to find Ivica Zubac. He called it big-to-big cut. Feels like they could do that a lot as the season goes on. But maybe what was most impressive, Adam, is that John came out there and just played his role, and his role led to success. He didn't force his way into the game. He let the game come to him, and that led to a lot of success individually for him and as a team for the Clippers.
And he knew the big man, the international star that Ivica Zubac is, the foreign player, would find him, because that's typically what they do. They're great passers over there in the European leagues, and Ivica Zubac fed him for a big and one late. Big Zoo punished the smaller lineup that the Portland Trail Blazers went with to try to switch everything out there. Worked effectively at first, but eventually Big Zoo started to get going and made him pay.
He did, and he got to his back to the basket and just finished with that right and left hook. 21 points, 8 rebounds for Ivica Zubac, and that was his best game of the season so far for the Clippers, just being able to get to his spots and do whatever he wants on the offensive end. I thought what was great for Zoo, Adam, is that he played within the flow of the game, but also was great defensively for the Clippers. A group that had 7 blocks in that game. He came away with a couple, doing a great job staying tall in the painted area. The Clippers have 2 elite rim protectors in Ivica Zubac and Brook Lopez, and they can be a group that can really stymie teams when they try to get to the rim.
James Harden, also a nice ball game. Too many turnovers, I'm sure he would say, for his liking, was 7, but 13 assists, 20 points in that third quarter. He was very crisp with the passes and finding his shot. Of course, the quarter started with Kawhi Leonard and those 3 3-pointers, but James Harden in control of the offense in the second half.
He was. And for James Harden, it's one of the best players in the league at being able to just let the game slow down, take advantage of what's in front of him, and then attack at an elite level. And I thought that's what he did really, really well in the last game. And get his teammates involved. 13 assists, got to the free throw line a couple of times, shooting 7 free throws. Adam, Harden leads the NBA after that last game. He led the NBA in assists with 31. Now, as everyone's played different amount of games, I'm sure he's been passed up, but it's great to see the Clippers point guard really facilitating for his group. He has a great feel for the game. Steve Kerr spoke pregame about Harden's greatest weapon is his IQ, and he knows when he has to turn it on, and he knows when he has to find his teammates. And I thought he did a good job of getting everybody involved early, especially Kawhi Leonard, who really got the offense going with his early 15 points.
Clippers taking on Steve Kerr's Golden State Warriors from Chase Center tonight up in Northern California. Tip-off is just about 48 minutes away. Coming up next, Carlo's got his one-on-one conversation with the head coach of your LA Clippers, Tyronn Lue, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Golden State Warriors from Chase Center in San Francisco, and tip-off is just about 47 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. You will not want to miss this or this as we head back over to Carlo Jimenez.
Thanks so much, Adam. Here with head coach Tyronn Lue before the Clippers take on the Golden State Warriors. Coach, Kawhi had 10 rebounds last game. He only did that 4 times last season. What does it mean for his ability athletically, and then also how he's feeling for him to get 10 rebounds every game?
Definitely how he's feeling, and just him being active on the boards just shows you that he's healthy, And so being the number 1 defensive rebounding team in the league last year, like, we got to continue to keep doing that, And so Kawhi just setting the tone and getting 10 rebounds, like you said, is huge for us.
James and Kawhi spoke about how John Collins played excellent last game, and then John's talked about how CP's been holding him to a high standard. Is that a coach's dream to hear that your players are holding each other to a high standard?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you live for, especially when you got a veteran team, to be able to just, talk to guys, help guys out, help guys figure it out. And that's what our group has been able to do.
When you were a player, was it different when it was one of your teammates holding you to a standard versus a coach?
Yeah, it was different because, the genuine love, the locker room love, every single day you're battling and fighting with these guys to win games. And so when you have older guys like Derek Fisher and Robert Ory and B. Shaw and Ron Harper and all those guys, just talking to you, trying to help you through because you really don't know, how it goes. And so it's always been a great thing for me and to have great veterans on the team.
Last one for you, Coach. You've faced Steve Kerr, obviously, 1,000 times, it feels like at this point. Does that make it easier or harder?
It makes it harder, but like I said, Steve, is a hell of a coach, and just having to get up and just play against a guy that's so great at what he does, and like I said, winning all the championships, the dynasty they put together here, in Golden State. And so it's just always just fun to play against my really good friend, and coach against him. So it's really fun.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Carlo Jimenez there with Coach Lou pregame as we get set for the Clippers tipping off against the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center. Tip-off is just 45 minutes away now. Up next, we're going back in time and Clippers rewind to a pretty famous playoff game between these two. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers up north at Chase Center taking on the Golden State Warriors. Tip-off is just about 42 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This Clippers Countdown. Still to come here, we'll have La Murray on from The Athletic. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind to my favorite. This was April 15th of 2019. Top of the box office was Shazam, the first one. On the radio was the song Old Town Road by Lil Nas with Billy Ray Cyrus, and the Clippers were in Oracle Arena in a playoff series against the Golden State Warriors, and they were orchestrating the greatest playoff comeback in NBA history.
Crowd on their feet. Can the Clippers come away with a basket here? Lou Williams moves to his left, finds a seam, drives the lane, puts it up, and in with the right hand. Oh my! 31 for Sweet Lou. 125, 121. Lou Williams is radioactive. Whistle, offensive foul, and it goes on Durant. 121 to play. It's a 2-point game. Durant is gone. Lou's at the foul circle, at the foul line, moves to his left. This is for the tie. He put it in. 128, 128, 105 to play. Shea goes down the lane, right side to Shemet for three in the lead. Hot damn! 133, 131, 15 seconds to play. Timeout, Golden State. Klay Thompson fires a three. It's in the air. It doesn't go. Oh my goodness. The Clippers have overcome a 31-point deficit and win game 2 in Oracle Arena. Wow. I do not believe what just happened. The game is over and the series is tied.
You know, when we get closer to the anniversary, we'll play the full thing for you. Brian Seaman on the call. The Clippers down 31. Got Sweet Lou Williams going with 36 points. Montrezl Harrell had 25. Danilo Gallinari with 24. And, of course, that huge three from Shamet off the pass from SGA. And they would win 135-131 over the Golden State Warriors in Game 2 of that opening round series back in 2019. It was magical. Coming up next, what do we got? Your player to watch. Clippers from Chase Center taking on the Golden State Warriors. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from Chase Center. Tip-off 37 minutes away. Coming up, we'll have La Murray on. But first,
this is LA Clippers basketball.
Watching this guy play right now is really something.
Players to watch.
well, it's still a mystery who's going to be the fifth starter tonight, as Coach Lou would not divulge that player pregame. I suspect it'll be Chris Dunn because they're going up against Golden State, because he's been very good against Steph Curry. They could use him in this matchup, and he started the second half of that game against the Trailblazers, where the Clippers won 114-107 on Sunday night. Chris Dunn also was 4 of 6, 1 of 3 from the outside, had 9 points. An assist, helped bring the basketball up, so it wasn't as taxing for James Harden, as he can initiate some offense as well. Makes sense to start him in this one. We shall see. Either way, Chris Dunn, my player to watch. Up next, your injury report, and then La Murray of The Athletic as we get set for the Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center, and tip-off is 35 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from San Francisco up at Chase Center. Tip-off 33 minutes away. Up next, we'll get to La Murray of the Athletic. But quickly, let's get to your injury report. Still no Bradley Beal for the Clippers, out with back soreness. Jordan Miller out with that left hamstring. Kobe Sanders, right knee sprain. As for the Golden State Warriors, DeAnthony Melton is out. Left ACL, of course. Alex Tui is out. Left knee injury. Clippers, Warriors from Golden State up in San Francisco. Tip-off is just about 30 minutes away. Up next, La Murray of The Athletic will join me right here on Clippers Countdown on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clipper Nation, we are just about 29 minutes away from tip-off at Chase Center. Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland, and this is the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we'll get your drive around the league, but join the show right now from Chase Center would be La Murray. At La Murray, the NU is where you'll find him. Read him at The Athletic. His latest is NBA Power Rankings, Knicks and Warriors rise, and we have questions for everyone. I got some questions about Golden State coming up, Law, but I do want to start with the Clippers. But how are you?
I feel good. I don't know how I feel good. This is my third game in a third different arena in 3 nights. But right now I feel good. Hopefully I can tell you that at midnight.
Looks like Kawhi Leonard's feeling pretty good. Spry out there, sprinting down the floor, 10 rebounds last time out, 30 points. Clippers rarely lose when they get 30 or more from him. What have you seen so far through 3 games from the Claw?
Yeah, the tape told us a lot from Wednesday, and I feel like Kawhi has responded in the best way he could. The jump shot looks good. He's getting to all of his spots really well. I mean, he's putting his body, that shoulder into defenders, big defenders too, guys who have respect around this league, you know, for getting stops. Like he's mixing it up with Dylan Brooks. He's mixing it up with Tamani Kamara. You know, really, really being physical and intentional. You know, Kawhi always tells us that you can judge how he's feeling by how he's moving. And, you know, the full court sprints are nice, but it's also nice when he's getting step backs on Drew Holiday. You know, he's just doing his part to put pressure on defenses. The key is Tyronn Lue going to make sure to get him going, and what unit that comes with. You know, is it with the starters? Is it with the second unit? The Clippers haven't played a complete full quarters yet, but tonight is an opportunity to do that. And Kawhi obviously is going to be a big priority for Golden State's defense.
What have you noticed with lineups? Because I believe we've seen Kawhi and James Harden staggered in different ways towards the end of the first quarter. And then obviously that determines who's starting or coming in early in the second quarter. What do you think Coach Lou is looking for right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, starting lineup just dropped, and it's it's an interesting.
John Collins?
Heck no, we're not getting John Collins anytime soon. We already talked about that. Quentin Post is starting for the Warriors, and it's the same starters for the Clippers tonight as Sunday. So Bogey's going to get another shot at it. And
did
I
it
can
look
understand.
like to you that Coach Lou was kind of chasing a Bogey moment in that fourth quarter, like just to see him get a shot to fall, something positive to happen for him? It just seemed like he was really trying to see if Bogey could find a rhythm.
It's early in the season. It's the same reason we saw Kawhi finish that game against Phoenix to get to a certain amount of minutes. Like, guys need to get in rhythm. We need to see that. We need to see guys, get their confidence and get their flow going. I talked to Bogey before, not before the game, but this morning at shoot around, and he and I just discussed how that game Sunday, it was like, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to help the team win, and I think Bogey individually did not have good numbers, but the Clippers did well with him on the floor for the most part. I think you got to consider those things. Like, individually, it would be nice to make some shots and make the plays that are there. Maybe the team does even better, obviously, but do you fit in? And I think, there's a reason that the Clippers are continuing to roll out this starting unit. They started the game pretty well against Portland.
Yeah.
They had a double-digit lead, and then they found themselves down double digits. And so that's what they're going with. Ultimately, I think they just want to keep that second unit together, the rotations together. It's been working. You don't see the full bench lineup pretty much at all. But again, it's so early, man. We don't have a whole lot to go off of. It's like, did you play well in this game? Did you play well in that game? Have we seen this yet? There are 29 other NBA teams that you're going to face, and it's going to be a long time before you face them all. That's what the regular season is, day to day, week by week.
You mentioned the turnovers. The miscues really came in bunches in that second quarter with 8 of them, but overall the Clippers still had 24 in the ball game. But I'm looking at what Portland's been doing through 4 games so far now. It's like they're getting 20 turnovers on the opposition every night. Maybe it's not the biggest indictment on the Clippers. It's more about Portland in some ways. How do you see it, Law?
I see it as the Clippers are terrible taking care of the basketball, and that teams are going to try and take advantage of it. It's early in the season, and we saw it last year too. The one thing about their offense is that when they don't turn it over, they've been the best team in the league putting the ball in the basket. They're number 1 in field goal percentage to start the year. And so that's where the firepower comes from. But, the turnovers, it's like press the Clippers, make them make decisions before they get their shots up. And yes, Portland's really good, but Utah was terrible at taking care or taking the ball away. Well, they're terrible at both, actually, last year, taking the ball away and taking care of it. And that's how the Clippers got blown out, because you blink and they're down 24, and dudes like Yusuf Nurkic are pick-sixing guys, So, like, I think that's a bit of an issue.
Well, there was a game against Golden State where they had 12 turnovers in the fourth quarter against the Warriors last year.
And we were so progressed. We had seen it so often. T. Lue was in the holiday spirit at that time. He was just like, we'll take the win. But when you see it against Indiana back, in February, it's like, it's a problem for the Clippers. So Jonathan Kuminga is going to be assigned James Harden, and I don't look at Jonathan Kuminga as a great defender, but I do look at Jonathan Kuminga as an athletic guy who's going to, James Harden can't just run by him or just dominate him physically. Like, you got to take advantage of whatever mistakes Kuminga makes, but the physicality profile is there. You can see what Golden State wants to do. Jimmy is probably going to get assigned Kawhi. You know, Post is there to deal with the size of Zubats, but Draymond Green's going to do Draymond Green stuff, which is float around, blow things up, and audition for the next WWE pay-per-view. Like, that's what we get from Draymond Green and this Warriors defense. The Warriors have not defended well this year. They have been absolutely just obliterated when they don't force turnovers. That's this game. This entire game from the Clippers side of things offensively is, can you take care of the ball well enough to get easy shots? There's money if you're able to take it. And if the Clippers can force turnovers and get out in transition, that's how we saw Portland destroy the Warriors. The Warriors just turned the ball over at will, and Golden State didn't have the juice to do anything about it.
And going back to this Clippers team and some of the positives here, Ivica Zubats got going against the small ball lineups with the Portland Trailblazers. I was a little bit frustrated at times in the second quarter because maybe they were going to eventually get the ball to Big Zoo since he had some mismatches, but they kept turning the basketball over. Just felt like obviously something they could exploit a little bit more. But also in the front court, John Collins was so good down the stretch in the fourth quarter with those 8 points, a three-pointer, the and one off the pass from Ivica Zubats, and he helped close out the game. Is that something to continue to monitor moving forward with who Coach Lue is going to use late?
Yeah, man. John being mixed in, and that's why I don't really trip about who's starting and all that stuff. Like, I wrote a story last week about how whoever you're starting and whoever's available, like, guys are going to have to be ready to play and ready to play with a variety of lineups. And we haven't gotten a whole lot of lineup deviation. We've seen patterns change, but we haven't seen a lot of, exotic lineups from Tyronn Lue. The Warriors, in years past, they tend to make you play that way, but even Golden State, they're a lot more conventional and traditional than they used to be. Like, we're going to see what Al Horford does, but you're not going to go crazy readjusting how you play because Al Horford is playing, So, like, Al's not going to start this game. They could have started Al. It's like, no, we're going to start the 7-footer who can shoot and put in post, and we're going to bring Pregame off the bench. You're going to have to deal with Al Horford off the bench. Moses Moody had a very nice game last night. He's coming off the bench when he was considered to be a starter. You got guys that you got to deal with now. So the Clippers is the same thing. John Collins is probably going to have to significantly play Al Horford, a guy who's had 5 days off because of the schedule that the Warriors have had with these back-to-backs. So this dude, he home. You can tell, man, he's just vibing right now.
Yeah, he's a little too excited. Switch to decaf, Carlo.
Big Rihanna fan over here. Shout out to ASAP Rocky. But John Collins has to get in where he fits in, and that means running the floor, getting offensive rebounds. If he's playing with Brooke, finding that space inside. If he's playing with Zoo, spacing the floor. John has so many adjustments to make, and that's what lineups are about. It's about, over the course of a game, what do you feel you can do to get advantages over the course of 3 minutes at a time. These lineups don't play that many minutes together. Look at how many 5-man groups a team puts out per game. It's you get maybe a handful that play 5 minutes together, right? The starting lineups, everyone thinks the starting lineups play a ton of minutes together. Starting lineups play maybe 15 minutes together out of a 48-minute game. It's not a lot. It's a bunch of stuff that you look into. Yeah. And so the thing that helps John is that he can just go in, see how the game is going, and make an impact that way, instead of being you're in a set lineup, you're starting these halves. John being good is more important to the Clippers than John being with the best players.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. A lot of people have been talking about CP3 the last couple of days. Well, he had those 2 3-pointers, one off an offensive rebound in the fourth quarter from John Collins after he missed one. He had his own problems bringing the ball into the front court, which is strange to see in a Clippers uniform. What are the takeaways from Chris Paul so far this season?
Chris Paul is the 8th guy in the rotation because I am a stickler of your 6th man being a perimeter guy, your 7th man being a big, your 8th guy being a perimeter guy, whether it's a guard or a wing, your 9th guy being a big, and your 10th guy being a perimeter guy. That's how I kind of look at my rotation charts. Now, that being said, Nico's the 10th guy. He's your backup wing defender. He's only in to give Kawhi a blow before Kawhi's ready to come in with the second unit. But Chris is basically that guy for James. You're not seeing a whole lot of James Harden, Chris Paul lines, just like you're not seeing a lot of Kawhi Leonard, Nico Batum lines. Now, I love the fact that T. Lue having a lead to protect Sunday, he threw Nico Batum out there, with Kawhi getting some time on the bench, and then Kawhi came in to finish it. But we also saw Chris Paul hit those couple threes in the fourth quarter. One of them was a second chance opportunity where John goes in, gets second chance opportunity, gets it back out the ball because he missed the previous three. Chris, he shot that first three because I think Donovan Clingan was on him, and Donovan Clingan gave him a little bit too much space, and Chris saw the basket and was able to shoot that thing. Chris Paul is a guy who needs space to get that shot off. That's why his coaches are always surprised at how good of a shooter he is. I remember when Doc Rivers was like, yeah, I was surprised. It's not that Chris is a bad shooter. It's that Chris needs a little bit more. He's not Steph Curry when it comes to release. Like, Chris is not a quick release shooter. He's a methodical shooter. Chris Paul making shots is a huge thing for this Clippers team. It's the same thing we talk about with Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. When those guys hit threes, it's huge. Nico Batum, all he's going to do to score is shoot threes. When he's making it, it's huge. If he's not making it, it's like you notice it, and he's not helping you really offensively. So Chris is older. He can be pressed. He's small. He can be overwhelmed. This is a lineup. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Golden State obviously is very familiar with him. Steve Kerr coached him for a year, so we all know how that was. I think this is an interesting matchup for him. Like, Golden State has athletic guys who are going to be active and trying to make him uncomfortable, and Pajemski and Gary Payton II. But Chris Paul knows a little something about the Warriors and can use that against too. I'm fascinated to see who Chris is on the floor against and who he plays with tonight in Golden State.
Clippers and Golden State Warriors from Chase Center, where our guest La Murray is from The Athletic. Again, follow him at La Murray ZNU. La, always appreciate the intel and the conversation, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you. And since Carlo brought this up, the Zoo-Kuminga matchup, not that they're guarding each other, but what they do on offense, that's my key to the game tonight. Enjoy the game, guys.
Let's go. Coming up next, as we are just about 16 minutes away from tip-off at Chase Center, we'll get your drive around the league. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Golden State Warriors from Chase Center. Tip-off is just about 13 minutes away. Coming up, we'll get back to Carlo Jimenez. But first, your drive around the league is brought to you by Toyota. Work hard and play hard in a new Tacoma. With an iForce turbocharged engine, it's a truck built for the bold. See your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Earlier in OKC, the Thunder would pull through late against the Kings and win 107-101. SGA with 31, 9, and 3 blocks. Zach LaVine with 23 points in defeat. The Bucks would take down the Knicks at home 121-111. I don't know if anybody's playing better than Giannis Antetokounmpo right now. He just had 37, 8, and 7 assists. That's kind of light work for the way he has started this season. But they would win. Jalen Brunson with 36 points for the Knicks in the loss. Heat all over the Hornets, 144-117. Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 28 points in the victory. Also got off to a hot start this season. LaMelo Ball with 28 and 9 assists in the loss. And then it was a final in overtime in DC where the Philadelphia 76ers got 39 and 10 assists from Tyrese Maxey and the 139-134 win over the Wizards. Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center. Tip-off is just about 12 minutes away. And up next, it's back to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from San Francisco. Tip-off 10 minutes away. You're back in on Clippers Countdown. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we'll get to your keys to victory. But first, back to Chase Center with the radio voice of the Clippers, Carlo Jimenez. All right, Carlo, the Golden State Warriors. They were able to get a deal done with Jonathan Kuminga, and he's fit in nicely here, being a high-level role player so far this season. What have you seen from JK?
He's been incredible, and Steve Kerr has talked about this is the best connection they have had, player to coach, in his tenure. Now, Adam, this is his 5th season as a Golden State Warrior, and that is high praise from your head coach. The biggest thing that Steve and really the analytics will show is that he's not taking the mid-range shot anymore. He's either finding a teammate, diving to the rim, getting active in transition, and they're putting him on some of the better players. He guarded Ja Morant last night. He's going to guard James Harden tonight. The other thing is he's getting rebounds, averaging 8 rebounds his last 4 games for this Warrior team. He averaged less than half of that a season ago. So he's being more active on the glass, he's cutting more, and he's playing within that Warriors system. You know, Adam, this is a Warriors team and a Steve Kerr staff that plays a system. And if you don't play their system, you're not going to find time. Kuminga is finally playing that Golden State system.
Somebody who you didn't have to worry about that with, who they brought in as we get ready for the Battle of the Unction tonight, would be Al Horford, who has fit in nicely. I know he missed the game yesterday, but it looks like he's going to give it a go. And what else did the Warriors need but a little bit more shooting from a big man out there? Like they got it in droves already.
Yeah, and this is a Warriors team that wants to play small. They want to spread it out. But it was interesting to hear Steve Kerr mention that the Clippers are the type of team that gives them issues because they don't feel like they have the size to match up with somebody like an Ivica Zubac. You know, Al Horford is a great big. He can spread the floor, but he's 6'9". He's not going to measure up physically with a big Zoo. And then you bring in Brook Lopez off the bench, who, by the way, is 7'1". And so the Clippers have that size that Golden State really doesn't know exactly how they want to play it this season. While they feel like they have a lot of rhythm and momentum through 4 games, this is a Clipper team that almost is their foil coming into today. Now, you could say the same thing about the Warriors. When it comes to the Clippers, they like to play small. They like to run fast. That's the team the Clippers do not want to face.
Clippers have won 7 straight against the Golden State Warriors, including last year's Game 82, which was an all-time regular season classic to determine who would make the playoffs and be a top 6 team and who would be stuck in the play-in. The Clippers were victorious up at Chase Center for that one. They got a lot from James Harden in that ball game. They will need a lot from him in this one, and the Clippers overall, same with James, have to cut down the turnovers that we saw on Sunday.
Yeah, Ty Lue mentioned that, look, you're gonna give up 10 a game because the other team is playing. But where do those other ones come from? Are they you giving away the ball or the defense making plays, being a playmaker? The Clippers have to take care of the rock. It's going to be key for them all season long. They were okay at it last year, about middle of the pack in turnovers allowed. But if they want to be an elite team in an elite Western Conference, because every single possession is going to matter. So for this Clipper team, James Harden, it starts with him. How do they make sure they take care of the basketball? Justin Russo pointed it out in the pregame press conference. Adam, the Clippers have the best effective field goal percentage in the NBA. They just turn the ball over too much.
Yeah.
If they can get in a half-court sets, they're making shots better than every other team. That will be key for this Clipper group.
Well, when their defense gets to set in the half court, they are troublesome, as they were for the Portland Trailblazers, where Sharp got blocked, count them 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I think it was DJ Batum and 2 from Brook Lopez. They were emphatic blocks, and I love seeing a backup big like that who can stretch the floor on one end and rim protect on the other, Carlo.
Yeah, Brook Lopez really had some incredible blocks against, as you mentioned, the highest leaper in the NBA, and somebody like Shaedon Sharpe. And Brook said, I might be 36, but I can block that, when up top with the youngster. It was really impressive to see him be a factor on the defensive end, how much pride he takes. And I thought he's really meshed well with this Clipper group. James Harden kind of spoke about it last game, but he said, Brook is somebody who'll curse you out. Brook is somebody who's going to keep you accountable. He's a quirky person, but we need that in this locker room. Likes to make jokes and takes himself not too seriously, but also takes basketball extremely seriously. He has done wonders for this Clipper team. Ty Lue said pregame he felt like their best player throughout all of training camp with the way he was able to knock down shots and defend the rim. The Clippers have a wealth of assets, and Brook Lopez just shows how deep this team really is when their backup 5 is making highlight plays night in and night out.
Highlight blocks at that. He didn't meet him at the apex. He met him at the top of the Matterhorn. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Clippers, Warriors from Chase Center, as we are just about 5 minutes away from tip-off. Coming up next, we'll get to your keys to victory. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center in a late o'clock start here. Tip-off just about 4 minutes away. Welcome back into Clippers Countdown. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, Carlo Jimenez has you for tip-off, but let's get your keys to victory. Well, it's glaring. After last game, Clippers turned the basketball over 24 times, and the Portland Trail Blazers had 29 fast break points, but they only shot 37% from the field overall, just 11 of 41 from three. When the Clippers were able to set their defense and defend in the half court, they were great. It was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Like everybody knows, the book on the Clippers is ball pressure, not giving a lot of space between you and the guy you're guarding, and the Clippers have problems with that. They really started, and we really took notice in a game against the Golden State Warriors last season that the Clippers ended up winning and holding on, but they had 12 turnovers in a fourth quarter alone against Golden State. After that, teams realized, hey, this is a problem for this Clippers team. So they have the tape. They have your flaw. You have to show otherwise on tape. The Clippers have to do a better job taking care of the basketball. We're talking 13 or less turnovers. That's my key to victory tonight. Clippers from Chase Center, and Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Tip-off is just moments away, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.